Claire Boyles, who's a business coach, to tell us a little bit more about Twitter, and not so much it's using it personally, but using it as a tool in the marketplace. Good morning, Claire.
Morning, Angela. How are you?
I'm very good indeed. Now, first of all, can you explain, it's quite a difficult thing to explain really in a way, Twitter. Can you tell us a little bit about exactly what Twitter is?
Okay, Twitter is a microblogging tool which allows you to tweet up to 140 characters in response to the question, what are you doing? So if any of your listeners are familiar with Facebook, Facebook has a status update, so it's very similar to that, where you get to broadcast to whoever happens to be following you what you're doing at this time.
It's a bit like it's a bit like texting with pictures and with immediacy to loads of people.
Yeah, the amount of people that you're texting to or tweeting to depends on how many people that are following you, and how many people are following you depends on how likable you are, in a sense, or how interesting or how valuable your tweets are. And that's the key to Twitter, is that if you constantly are tweeting mundane things like, I had eggs for breakfast, for example, people are not that interested in that. But what they are interested in, and this is why the value is really key in terms of business, is they're interested in finding out information. They're also interested in having a laugh. A lot of Twitter is about humour. So last night, for example, I was on Twitter, as I often am, and the topic is around the shuttle launch. So people are tweeting backwards and forwards about when it's going to come over Ireland. I had an amazing experience last night where I saw the shuttle go overhead of Ireland with people all across Ireland, and that's how it's valuable as a networking tool as well, because it connects people with common interests.
Now, your particular area of expertise is business and marketing. How can you use it in that way?
Well, how I've used it in that way is I tweet inspirational tips or motivational tips, how to manage yourself effectively. My clients are primarily business owners, so there are people that have set up their own business. They're out on their own. They have to manage themselves. So I tweet regular different things. Like on a Monday morning, I'll tweet how to make sure that you prioritize your week and how you can set your goals. At the end of the week, I check out, have you actually acknowledged what you've done, during your week? So there's things like that. But I also tweet links to valuable articles and resources. When you get on Twitter and you follow enough people and you get enough information, sometimes it can be like a rabbit warren. You can go follow link after link into an absolute treasure cave of valuable information, and that's what I found for Twitter. I've also found that people that I've connected with already in terms of business networking meetings, so I've met people face to face, and then I've been on Twitter and I've started following them, and all of a sudden the relationship that I've built up has quickly, within 10 times, I've developed it a lot faster, because I get to understand more about the other person. And as anybody that's in business know, is that people buy from people, they don't buy from businesses. So it's about building relationships, and that's what's been key.
Would you recommend this to, for instance, a small business who may, specialise in something or other, and put themselves up on Twitter and make themselves kind of interesting, quirky, and also, while pushing their own products? Would it work like that?
Yes, I would definitely recommend it for small business owners. I would not recommend it as a means to push your product. If you are pushing anything on Twitter, it's considered spam. It's not Twitter etiquette. Twitter is not about selling yourself. It's not about shoving yourself in front of people. It's about being genuine. It's about, yes, be quirky, but be yourself. And the other important thing that I would say about Twitter is that you do need to be careful about what you tweet. If you're tweeting for a business, make sure it's about business. I do tweet, personal things as well, but not very personal things. So last night, for example, I tweeted that I was walking on the dog with my walking on the beach with my dogs, because that's a useful way to relax. So. The Krishna Day, she's a online marketing expert, and the way she puts it is, anything on the internet that you post, you have to understand that it's the same as posting it on the front page of the Irish Times. So if you don't want it, that broadcast, then don't tweet it. So yeah, you have to be very careful.
Okay, yes, you do. You can't take it back. That's the whole point about it. It's out there in the ether, on the internet. It might as well be on YouTube.
Exactly.
It is. Claire Boyles, business coach. Tell me, what is your website if people want to contact you?
Managementmatters.ie, and I've been, since I got on Twitter at the start of the year, and I found it so useful, and I just love it. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. So I've developed Twitter seminars to show people how they can use the tool as well. So we have a couple of seminars coming up, one on Wednesday the 29th of July in Dublin, and there's one on the 4th of July in September as well in Cork.
And it's all on